Hey guys, Bozer here. I just wanted to pop in and first thank you for all of you that have made it this far in this campaign. This has been such an incredible experience, an incredible journey, and my favorite part is sharing it with the people at my table and sharing it with you. I know that episodes have been kind of spotty lately, and we've had kind of a large gap between 29 and 30. And thank you for sticking with us between that gap. As you know, of any tabletop campaign, the big bad is always scheduling, especially as us as full-grown adults with kids and families and jobs outside of this. So I want to apologize for that and just let you know that the next coming episodes, they may not be happening exactly weekly, but we want to keep the story moving forward and we don't want to leave you hanging. So we're going to keep doling these out, keep sticking with us. They may not be happening as regularly as we would like or as you would like, but it would be amazing if you just go ahead and hit that subscribe or hit that follow button so that you can keep tabs when new episode drops. Ideally, they drop every Saturday, but if they don't, just keep checking back. Please stick with us. This has been so much fun, and I'm going to leave you to Past Bozer. Go! Welcome back to 4 Geeks by Geeks, the place where geeks come to geek out, and we are finally back with episode 30 of Cloudscape. Woo! Holy shit, we made it this far.
We did it!
That was me crumping, but I'm in a seat.
Because it's 2008. Surprise, the housing market is crashing.
Oh no!
Nate.
Man, it's always 2008 to us emo kids for your.
Damn. No one is visibly emo, though. Right now.
It's in here.
It's in here. It's in here. I've got bangs covering my heart, just the left of it.
I have a heart murmur because it's Pop always doing this.
How long has it been since you've had hair that long, Josh?
I was 21 when I cut it all off, and then it never grew back that long. I call these my finger bangs.
Your what?
My finger bangs?
Excuse me.
Yeah. Yeah.
They're your what now?
My finger bangs? Yeah.
It doesn't matter how many times you say it. Austin's not gonna know what you mean.
What's that?
And then you blow your fingers, and then your finger bangs wave.
Okay, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's all about how well you can use your fingers.
Does your wife
banging.
know about your finger bangs?
Oh yeah, no, I finger banged in front of my wife a bunch of times.
I honestly can't tell if that was a bit or he was so disgusted by that interaction.
I choked on my own water as a bit. I wasn't scared. I wasn't even scared.
A little spit.
I wasn't even scared.
How have you guys been? I've missed you.
Missed this table.
Yeah,
I see you all the time.
I sit at this table all the time to do
Miss
my
you.
work, so I don't miss this table. But I missed you guys. That was not a good joke. Let's go.
Yeah, I don't know if we won up finger bang, so I think we just got to move the show at that point.
Yeah, finger bang does kind of win.
Finger bang fucks.
Finger bang does fuck.
I'm gonna try to work that into the session.
Does Reginald have
Banging
finger
away at my
bangs?
keyboard?
It's not 2008, Theodore. We don't all have finger bangs. It's not all coon tails and finger bangs, Theodore.
Oh my god, I love this idea of, like, we don't know what now we can reference, the 80s pop culture. We have no idea what, 40 years ago pop culture was in Aurora. So Reginald could make all those references. We'd never know.
It's whatever your fate points say it is.
Right, exactly.
Don't worry, I plan on doing a
up?
flashback sequence of us in college, so we'll definitely be able to work some stuff out.
Oh my god, a college episode.
I love the idea of the Reginald getting ready montage was to the tune of Hope It Gives You Hell by all of
Yep. I love it.
I just saw them a couple weeks ago, actually.
What the hell?
The game
Okay,
is
this is
outside.
wait. Mr. DM, can we please play?
Am I supposed to keep us on track?
Someone has to.
You guys haven't noticed that my looks, my mom looks.
I've been noticing.
Not
That's
doing
why
a very
I'm
good job as a mother. Then
I'm trying my best.
All right, let's jump in to today's episode of Cloudscape.
Ding.
Last time in Aurora, we are gearing up for a court session after Kit's brazen actions against
Allegedly.
the Institute of Progress. Alleged brazen actions.
Thank you.
Kit was escorted to the High Hall of Justice through some underground tunnels just beneath the Citadel that led through the city, and into the High Hall of Justice. And Theo took the main entrance, and you witness this beautiful piece of architecture that is flanked by tall obelisks of prisms and light and stained glass windows that catch the light so beautifully. And you walk in and you're just wrapped in a warm sense of peace and justice and order, which is beautiful. And Theo and Kit had a few moments in kind of a what's the room I'm looking for? There's a word.
Observation?
Interrogation?
Is it an observation room? Is that what it's called?
No.
It's like
The word
green room.
rectory is coming to mind, but I don't think that's anyway, it was a room. So you had a few
practically killed her. No, sorry.
A Church of England?
no.
No.
They were in a Church of England?
Oh, they might be in a Church of England. No,
Oh,
that's a good
interesting.
call.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, alright, fair enough. I didn't know England was in Aurora, but that's pretty neat.
I mean,
How
we've
small
never
is the
solidified
world
where
yet?
over the world it exists.
That's true.
I know where it's at.
Sheffield specifically. It's strange.
Yeah. So you
Guys,
get a
I
few
really
moments to
think-
discuss your game plan, and then the DA, or one of the DAs of Aurora, made his entrance. Reginald McCarthy,
Really stepped in shit.
arch nemesis.
I
of
think
Theo,
I think the lore was I tracked my cat's shit all
Yes.
the way through.
all the way through.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
Improving is fun, folks. Sometimes your opponent just gets to say you stepped in shit and you're not man enough to say no because you're reoffending.
points for split.
It was one of you. One of you did say it.
It was Kit.
There's no way I would say it.
Oh, it was.
It was Kit.
Thanks for that.
Shit.
Thanks for that. And then my immediate reaction was to wipe it on the freaking floor of where I worked like an idiot. I regret that so much. I don't know what I would have done, but
the entire time.
So you guys all bring it back. Y'all got a moment to discuss and meet, and then you made your way into the main hall. There are a few different courtrooms here in the High Hall, but you get the big kahuna of the halls, the courtrooms, and you entered, and it was a packed house. Full of curious individuals, full of angry individuals, sad individuals, those whose lives had been personally affected by this tragedy, who are arriving to watch justice be doled out severely. As you took your places, everyone rose as the arch luminary of justice himself, Dolan Ludenson, enters the court, prepared to sit at the bench for this trial. But just as it was about to begin, a secretary entered, and sheepishly apologized, letting Dolan know that he was needed at the seat of the Shining Sun, as all archluminaries were being called back to the castle. And so, rather perturbed, he made his exit, and unknowing what was going to happen next, he was immediately replaced with another judge, one that Theo recognized immediately. Helena Marlene took her place on the bench as Theo leans over, even more perturbed, letting Kit know, saying, "We are fucked. That is my mother." And that's where we're going to pick
to each other for 7 weeks.
They don't know.
Now they do.
So, to describe what you see, you're looking around, and as everyone had to rise out of respect for this new judge taking her place,
Theo's.
a little differently dressed. She is a judge, but she's not the archluminary of justice. So, while Dolan had this high, pointed collar that rose a few inches behind his head, and these large, ornate robes, she also has beautifully ornate robes, but her collar doesn't quite go as high. It's just behind the nape of her neck, and she's got stoles, which was a word that we learned last episode, and I magically remembered. I'm so proud of you, Poster. This beautiful stoles with kind of embroidered. If you could look closer, you would see almost similar to the stonework in the Institute of Progress that kind of tells a story. These would also kind of show the history of Aurora in even more finer detail. And it's kind of rimmed in this teal color, while the stole itself is white, against a stark black judge's robe that kind of, it's not matte like a lot of judges' robes are that we might think of. It kind of catches the light, and as it does, it's a little iridescent. Not distractingly so, but just enough. Pause. My dad keeps calling me, even though I told him I'm recording, and he texted me, and he's calling me again.
Tell him I said hello.
Good God. And now he hung up because I think he realized what he was saying.
While we're paused, when you said that she's dressed differently, I really wanted to interrupt you and say she's wearing a crop top.
Great point. Crop top.
But it wasn't a good enough joke to cut you off.
Thanks. Unpause. Helena herself, she's got kind of long bangs on the side that flank her face. Her hair is pulled up into a tight bun on the back of her head. Somewhat of a severe look in her facial features. And she stands at her seat and kind of surveys the room and lingers a long on you, Theo.
Oh, giving her the dirtiest look. Theo don't give a fuck.
Your Honor.
And then sits first and says, "You may be seated."
Instead of being seated, Reginald kind of like lands his fist on the desk and goes, "This is an outrage. What happened? Where is my justice is on the line here? Where is the guy's, what's his name now?
Dolan.
Dolan. Where's Dolan?"
And at the moment that you bang your fist on the table before you, the light guards in the room with their tall spears immediately like stiffen up and like face you. And Helena just shoots kind of daggers in your direction. And she says, Mr. McCarthy, if you have an issue with my level of justice, then you may approach my bench and speak to me with respect. I will not have outbursts in my courtroom. Am I clear?
I stand up straight and I kind of adjust my tie and shirt. I did kind of lose myself there. I probably like fix a loose hair that
That sprung
went
forward.
Yeah, that went forward, and I kind of pull it back. And you can see that my suit also has that iridescent kind of sheen to it as I move. And I straighten my back and I go, my apologies, Your Honor. Yes, permission to approach the bench.
Approach.
Theo sighs as he follows. Openly sighs, by the way. It's not under his breath.
Now, this bench is much higher. Like, if you approach, you would be, like, facing a wall, essentially. So, at the foot of the bench, just at the base of the wall, there are a small set of steps that allow you to at least be, like, head height with the top of her bench.
Yes, money of justice, please.
How tall is Reginald?
I think Reginald, I said he was really tall. He's a very stocky,
That's right.
long man, very skinny and tall.
But he constantly has to stand back to back with people to prove how tall. It's a real problem
It's
in
got
his
that
life.
curvature of the back that
Yeah,
just
yeah.
walks like slumped.
Which, you know what is funny, is I also narrated that he had that in episode 29. Because I say that he's always up late at night, like tinkering on projects and working on conspiracies and stuff. So he does naturally have kind of like a goblin kind of that he has to get rid of when he works. I said as soon as he steps in the building, his back is pinned straight.
Please, do not slouch in my courtroom.
A sweat.
Mr. Maxwell, it's good to see you.
Helena?
Now,
Is this 2009, dude? Sorry.
what is your problem, Mr. McCarthy?
With all due respect, Your Honor, this case may seem small on the surface, but it's runs in tangent with something that I've spent years building. Now, I'm sure that you're more than qualified to handle this trial if it was as minute as it appears on the surface, but I assure you that I need to have the man's name that I've forgotten for the third time in 5 minutes.
Dolan.
Dolan Ludenson. Yes.
How do I keep forgetting that
Ludenson.
freaking crazy meme? Anyway, Dolan. Sorry.
I assure you that this case, as in all of my trials, are no small object, and I sit at this bench with the utmost respect for the law. And she, like, glances at you, Theo. The Arch Luminary has appointed me to take his place himself. So if you would like me to go pull him from the seat of the shining sun to let him know that one of the DAs of Aurora demands that he be pulled from his duties as Arch Luminary.
Well, my issues with your statement are two-pronged. My strong sniffer for justice and righteousness indicates a whiff of what you might call BO.
Agree there.
Number one, we all saw the face on Dolan when he got the news. he was just as confused as the rest of the courtroom. The second important thing is I am going to be pushing for a trial that is outside of your level to judge.
Ooh! That was one
This is-
person in the courtroom who's now being taken out.
My level, you say?
Yes, this manner of utmost importance for justice to be carried requires Dolan's not just his stature and his attention, but his level as the fucking dark
Arch-luminary.
justiciar of fucking yeah, arch-luminary.
I want to sidebar real quick because I want to play into something, but I don't want to. No, this is person. I don't want to create a trope for Reginald because that's not my character. Theo wants to play into the fact that Reginald doesn't want Helena. Would you be okay with if I fate point a story where you had this same issue with another like female judge in a mock bench to like play into the fact, like play into Helena's annoyance with you in this moment?
Like, well, I don't think I want it to be like a sex thing.
I don't want it to be that way. That's why I was trying to think of a way that I could play into that to like lead into Helena being annoyed further with you in this moment to manipulate off that fact. But it was based off your character, so I don't want to create something for your character.
Oh, like I've had altercations with like a female judge in the past,
Or not even
unrelated.
necessarily female, but like Reginald would like routinely undermine people of this authority, believing he needs to go higher with it. Like this wouldn't be the first time Reginald would play into.
So
It's like
basically,
constantly-
other than the arch luminary.
Oh, I
Yeah.
see. Like,
You see what
I'm
I'm saying?
only willing to take high profile cases.
Yes.
Like, so this is like beneath me. Sure. Okay. That doesn't feel un-Reggie.
Okay. I just wanted to like double check with you before I start making character choices.
Like I've got a high tolerance or a low tolerance for matters that I don't find are worthy of my time.
Yeah, and then so when you get to the court, you're obviously trying to make them these bigger things to play into that. So, okay.
Sure, that feels fair.
Cool. Okay.
And she sits tall. Mr. McCarthy, I don't know if you're aware of your reputation. And she leans down as a clout chaser.
I lean in closer.
I am speaking.
Sorry, well, I just lean in closer in response. I want to look her right in the eyes.
You have always been that way, Reginald.
If your small personality needs further security beyond my level of justice, then perhaps this case is not suited for a DA of your status.
I do.
Would you like to be reassigned?
And just like as like cold and as a matter of fact as I can, my acceptance of this small trial was in hopes of cleaning up the city by a grand margin. This is not a matter of if you are qualified. This is a matter of if I get my way here, you won't be presiding over the results. That's a fact. I know the limits of my job as much as I know the limits of yours. I'm saying that this case has the potential to clean Aurora. And would you say that you would be given that trial? Can you honestly tell me that?
I can honestly say that you have no idea of the width, depth, breadth, or height of my level.
That's true.
in Aurora. And
Would I not know? Because normally there's like Supreme Court.
Above
yes,
regular
you would
court,
have
right?
you would have an idea of the hierarchy of justice, but
So I know for a
now
fact.
now you're speaking at her pride. So
she's blowing smoke now.
there might be some other things that you don't know. Just like you, Mr. McCarthy, I also look to clean up Aurora, as you say, and we do that one trial at a time. If you intend to create a second trial, that will depend on the results of this one. But I intend to sit at this bench and judge on case 34-2-A, not the next.
I kind of just clasp my hands together and I flash a wry, kind of like, what a waste of time smile. And I go, okay, then this trial, you can decide when we do the real trial. And I will present that point because I'm moving for a whole different trial altogether. These were merely the stepping blocks for the trial I've been working at, for the case I've been working at, for the better part of my career. Now, if you feel, for whatever metric you're trying to achieve, that this is just a status thing for me, that's fine. But when you hear what I have to say, you'll understand just how insignificant we all are.
Mr. McCarthy, do me a favor. Turn around and look into the faces of those sitting in this trial. Those who have lost loved ones. Those who have been personally affected by the things that have taken place. And are you willing to look into their tear-brimmed eyes and tell them that this trial is insignificant?
I turn my back to the judge and I address the people. Man, woman, and child sitting here today. I intend to make the proactive movement that something like this will never happen again, and that the neglectful eyes, the people who refuse to peer into the shadows, will no longer have the opportunity to do so. Every single one of you deserves justice, and that is exactly what I'll bring. But I am not going to clip the nails of this dragon. I am going to chop its head off. So if you would do me the kindness of lending me your strength and patience, that is exactly what I intend to do in a larger courtroom, in a larger court case, with the man that can pass the judgment. And then I go sit down.
As Reginald is walking away, Theo is gonna like heel toe with him. Now is not. We still have a chance to make a deal, and we can still work together on making that thing come to play, Reginald.
I just kind of scoff, and I go sit on my bench, and I fold my fingers up, and I wait to hear the judge kind of go through the motions and do what she feels like she has to do until I move for a different trial entirely.
Question. We have established that this is not a jury, right? It's just a singular judge entity that makes the... Okay, thank you.
Correct. Reginald, please roll rapport or charisma against the audience of the courtroom.
Okay.
Imagine you're fighting the audience.
Can I spend a fate point to invoke self-proclaimed paladin of the courtroom?
Yes.
Is that an aspect that you have?
That's my high concept.
That's so good.
That's perfect.
Yes, you may.
Thank you. Okay. That is. Okay. Fuck. Do I re-roll? It's so hard. Oh no, +2. Yeah, that's what I'll do. That makes it a 5, which is pretty good for me.
That's pretty good.
Considering +2 is the most I can get on anything.
So as you're taking your seat, and as Theo whispers in your ear, there's one woman that stands up and shouts, "Thank you! Thank you!" And somebody like kind of gestures down and rubs her back as she's like wiping her eyes.
Yeah, my back is actually still turned to them. Like I didn't even flinch when I heard that. I got my fingers folded. I'm just staring at the judge, waiting for them to take their dick out of their drawers and do their job.
And at the outburst of that
by the
woman,
look on your face, you've clearly never been to court.
That's the judge's main
Not me.
job.
Yeah, it's
And
like
if
the
you're
main
born
thing.
without one, they will provide you with one.
right, and here in Aurora, instead of a gavel, they actually have a big black dildo.
Nice.
And no
Good.
kidding. No, but instead of a,
And fate
Order in the courtroom. Order.
It's the same
No,
one
and-
that you pick up in Grand Theft Auto in the bathroom.
Yeah.
Nice.
Saints Row.
Oh, Saints Row. Yes.
but instead of a mallet, it is a fairly
Big black
larger
dildo, correct.
hammer. If you
Oh, it's
if
a
you
hammer,
picture
all right.
kind of like a war hammer in D&D, but like at a smaller scale. And so when she whacks this thing on the bench, it
It's just the meat
echoes.
tenderizer.
Just destroys the bench.
Just yeah.
It echoes throughout this entire hall. And even a little dust kind of puffs against the light that's beaming through the stained glass windows on all three sides. Now, if we are done with the theatrics, may we get on with this case. We are here to discuss case 34-2-A, the people versus Pfeiffer. I forgot your last name.
Thank God it's not just me who hasn't played in a month and a half.
So the trial will move forward thusly. You may call your witnesses. You will get to examine Mr. Maxwell, then you will get to cross-examine. If you have any witnesses that you would like to call, you may do so at that time. And as you see, there is no jury on this case. The only person that you have to convince is me. Mr. McCarthy, your opening statements.
I stand up, adjust my tie.
Theo leans over. You missed a spot on your shoe.
I look at him and I go, I'm actually kind of stoked about that now.
Okay.
And just for point of reference, you guys are at separate tables.
Yeah.
Like there's
You
a
just
large
whispered.
aisle between you.
Just whispered across the aisle. I don't know.
Okay.
Stage whisper. Lawyer whisper.
Either way, there's poop on my shoe, and it's kind of how I feel about this court case now. Just tracking it along the floor. Yeah, I kind of, like I said, straighten up, and I promised Theo that I wouldn't write anything down for this. Theo. God damn, why does your name have to be T and then your character Theo? Anyway, so yeah, I
Fun
walk
fact,
across
that's all of my characters.
I walk across the gate, close it behind myself, and I address the judge, I guess, only. I don't need to convince any of the people, right? So I'm just talking straight to her. Is that kind of how this
Yeah,
court case would be?
Yes, but you can also like kind of talk to the people as well. Because you would know that even though the judge is the only one that will judge on this case, it's always beneficial to kind of get the people on your side.
There is always the court of public opinion.
Exactly.
Yeah, so, I'll try to keep this as concise as I possibly can, Your Honor, as an attempt to not waste any more of your time. And I kind of just, like I'm about to drop a bomb, trying to keep myself composed. And I go, this trial, as I said, is far bigger than vandalism and destruction from just one person attacking one building with the collateral damage hurting the people that it did. This act of violence comes from the dark underbelly of Aurora. Now, there is no doubt in my mind that Kit Pfeiffer sits here guilty. I'm sure it'll be clear as day when we get the eyewitnesses who saw her exit the machinery, who saw her get put in the back of the vehicle, and who knows that she admitted to murder when she turned herself in. That part is clear as day. Her conscience is clearly muddled by the decisions that she made and who that has affected. That is clear. But who was pulling her strings, ladies and gentlemen? I move that this trial be not just against Pfeiffer, but the entire Gold family who put her up to it.
And there is a rumble immediately, like murmurs and whispers.
I would like to roll to see how Helena responds. Would that just be insight?
Oh, okay. I was like, you rolling for Helena?
No. I would like to roll. I would like to roll to see if Helena smiles.
Sure, go ahead and roll.
That would be a 4.
4, so you immediately glance up at Helena. And as you know, she is very good at keeping her demeanor in check. And so you don't even see a flinch. She is just sitting there, leaned forward slightly, carefully taking in everything that Reginald is saying.
And then I say, and furthermore, I believe that Theodore Maxwell is unable to represent her, as I have speculative evidence that he is working for the Golds as well.
Nice.
It's gonna like give like the weirdest look. Like you could see on her face, she's like, and she turns to
Theo just turns and like taps her shoulder.
And so, with that, Your Honor, I move for an escalation of this trial and would appreciate the opportunity to dole out justice on a scale that will do meaningful good for this city. And I'll go and sit down.
Might I remind the prosecution that your job is to prove guilt, my job is to judge on such matters, and it is above either of our jobs to dole out such justice, as you say, but...
If I may, Your Honor, and with all due respect, I came into this position with a flawless record of putting away people that needed to be put away. I see a young woman who may be able to avoid being put away by admitting and proving that the people who are responsible for this
At this point,
take
Theo is just sitting back,
the blame.
legs crossed, relaxing.
And I do sit down, as that is my time.
Are you quite finished, Mr. McCarthy?
I believe so. Thank you, Your Honor.
Defense. Opening statements.
Theo stands up, like organizing his index cards, and then just immediately rips them. This is going to be a very interesting court case for the fact that Mr. Reginald and I are on the same side of the fence here. We are fighting for the same common goal here. So it is, I don't like agreeing with Reginald in the absolute slightest, but funnily enough, I do agree with a vast majority of the points he just said here.
I laugh as I acknowledge that I stand him accused of also being a criminal.
The city of Aurora is rifled, and at this point, Theo turns from the audience to Helena, is rifled with individuals in power that care nothing more than their own personal gain, as he then turns back to the audience. And Reginald is right. There is so much that needs to be cleaned up in this city. And as the Honorable Helena has pointed out, that it is up to a reasonable doubt that we have to all agree of what took place this very, very fateful day. And this really all boils down to a matter of perception. Perception will always be the hindrance of everybody being on the same page. There's a saying that there's 3 sides to every truth: his, hers, and then the truth. And this is going to be a very keen case to help alleviate the fact that that is a very, very prominent statement, and for a reason. I am not here to disprove the facts that took place that day. A lot of your family members were harmed or killed, and for that I give you my utmost apologies. And the Pfeiffer family has full intentions of helping your families in any way they possibly can. But as Reginald has duly pointed out, she is not the responsible party here. And Theo will once again turn back to Helena. Kieran Gold is the man responsible for this entire incident. And on opposite sides of the table, this court case will be going towards the same goal. And Theo's going to take a seat. And Theo's going to lean back across the hall. Deal still stands, Reginald.
I'll sleep better at night knowing that a criminal like you is behind bars.
I'm going to sleep a lot better when you realize you've lost to me yet again, as Theo straightens up in his seat.
Well, might I remind the court that Mr. Gold, as you say, is not on trial, but Miss Catherine Pfeiffer.
To clarify, Theo did put in paperwork doing the thing in the court verbiage saying that Kit's not responsible. He is proving that another person is responsible for this.
But we'll see how this plays out. Mr. McCarthy, your first witness.
I feel like I am slouching in my seat now, just like kind of. This is ridiculous. Your Honor, I demand a recess. I will not stand on the other side of the courtroom from someone I accuse of being partially responsible for this.
Objection, Your Honor. If he's going to try to prove that, we're going to have an entirely separate court case to prove I have any correlation with the Gold family. He is sitting here trying to make a mockery of your position.
Objection sustained. If you wish to proceed, Mr. McCarthy, you may, or you may.
I kind of just drop my pencil on my desk begrudgingly. All right. Any witnesses that are willing to? I'll take all comers. Please form a line. First one to the stand.
That's not how that works.
First one of the witnesses. Go ahead. Go ahead.
We have
sit
a
down.
microphone in the center. If you could just queue up.
Just
keep
the
it,
next one.
keep it 5 or 6 deep. We want to keep.
Yeah.
We don't want
Whatever.
anybody standing for the entire court.
Well,
I
can go,
call
but then you
whoever is
wanna go
willing
on with
to
that
speak
voice?
now to the
I
stand.
need to. No, Zaka, we can all go. If we can just. No, okay. There's already a pretty full line.
Please, not all at once, though. Not all at once. Just
You know, I'll go. I'll do it.
sounds good, sir.
Bye.
Sir, what was your name?
First time, long time. My name's Lexington Finch. It's nice to meet you.
The pleasure is mine.
Hi.
Sincerely.
Is this thing on? Tap, tap, tap.
I mean,
Mr. Finch,
I've
please-
responded to you twice.
Sorry.
We've
it's
got
my-
a conversation.
I said earlier it's my first time. I'm sorry.
There's, Mr. Finch,
Yeah.
a light guard officer kind of steps forward and opens a small gate separating the audience from the bench area and escorts you to the left side of the bench, where there is at a slightly lower level. You have to walk up a short flight of stairs, and they kind of escort you and have you take your place, and there is a small microphone there for you.
When Lexington first put his hand up, he was in kind of the back of the courtroom. But as he gets closer, both the lawyers see that the man is 7 foot tall and 400 pounds of just chalk fucking muscle. And he's got bandages. He's got one of his eyes has like a bandage over it, and he walks with a limp and his shoulders wrapped. But he's still got a good attitude about it, you know.
An inspiration. Truly.
Thank you. Oh, I try. I would try to inspire. Ow. I moved too fast.
Mr. Finch, for the court, would you please spell your first and last name?
This is a sobriety test.
Lexington. L as in Lexington. E as in Exington. X as in X-Men. I as in Lexington. N-G-T-O-N.
As in, Gitton.
You know, and my last name is Finch. F-I-N-C-H. As in Lexington Finch.
I love that X-Men are canon. That's pretty cool. But they do X.
Oh yeah, no, the X. The
It's
X.
a comic. It's a comic of a.
They
group
are
of
much
heroes.
less appreciated.
Yeah, there's the guy Badger who has the claws.
Yeah. Oh, Badger rules.
Triclops.
Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Mr. McCarthy, you may proceed.
Excellent. As you can see, Reginald has no notes on account of how open and shut this case is. He fucking really couldn't give a shit less about this. And he goes, yeah, what was your relation to this incident? Were you a part of the collateral damage? It seems like you've sustained injuries recently.
Oh yeah. I was actually I'd recently become a security guard at the Institute, because after the attack they hired some on, and I was doing some work in the Iron Corners, and then there was kind of like a big disaster, and so that job kind of stopped. So I was like, all right, I'll do this. And so I got that job, you know, to provide for my family.
Admirable. It seems
Thank
like
you.
you're not a lucky man when securing positions for work, so I do apologize for that.
Well, full disclosure, the job I was doing in the Iron Corners was, I was working in the fights. You may have seen it, Brunch Tuffley. Yeah.
Yes, I don't go to those. The fact that they're even legal is questionable. But that's for another time.
Hey
The
man,
paladin, the
everyone's
courtroom
entitled
never
to their
rests.
opinion.
Yes, some less than others. So, yes, yeah. So you were inside the building when it collapsed.
Yeah, I was actually working on the floor where the beam came through.
Oh my! And what were you able to see? Were there any suspicious activity that you can report?
No, just metal through the wall, really. That was like the big thing I noticed.
Yeah.
Luckily, I looked out the window in time to see it moving towards us, so I was able to get a few of the people working on the floor down to the ground. It did cause me to break 3 ribs, my dislocated shoulder, and the doctors told me that I might not regain sight in my left eye.
It's been like 2 weeks. Why are you here? How are you? The fact that you're standing is a marvel to
It's a
the
brick
ingenuity
shithouse,
of your
he's fine.
body.
Well, thank you. I put a lot of work into my body. I'm pretty proud of it.
Yeah, you should. Nobody.
That's why
has
they called me Toughly.
Nobody has broken 3 ribs, fractured their shoulder, and lost sight in their eye, and then 2 weeks later went to court. I don't think anyone in the history of Aurora has done that.
I carried 3 people out of the building.
Now, forgive me, but did you?
Oh, they were small. It's not like it's like that impressive.
Oh, okay, I
Yeah.
understand. But you also understand by the sheer magnitude of yourself, kind of shrinks us all, to your perspective.
They did say that if I wasn't so big, I would have died.
I kind of just like turned. I've got no real friends in this courtroom, so I just turned to the judge and be like, "Did he stand witness just to brag?" Just brag.
I mean, you asked me to be here, so
I actually asked anyone.
I'm anyone.
You got me there, sir.
Sustained.
So,
Thank you.
so you
Thank you, Your Honor.
so you didn't see anything.
Well, I saw the impact. I saw the destruction. I saw how devastated it was. I got those people out, but not a lot of people from that floor made it out.
Yes, that's
It was hard. I had to make a decision to leave some people behind, and I'm not gonna forget that. You know, I'm gonna think about that for the rest of my life.
Yes, I think that something as serious as this really does leave a scar that your titanic body it cannot sustain. And I truly hope that wound heals along with the rest of you. And seriously, the fact that you're able to walk is insane to me. But nevertheless, so you didn't see any suspicious activity. You didn't see the person operating the crane. Let's take us before the impact. Did you notice or hear anything? Like, what were you set to guard? Do you have any idea of the intention of why this beam would happen, or do you think it was just random?
Well, I was on the floor that was guarding some pretty sensitive new technology that they'd moved in. So it seemed to me that seemed to be like the target.
Yes, that makes sense. And correct me if I'm wrong, but would you know if anything had gone missing since that day?
Objection, Your Honor. Leading the witness.
Sustained. Please keep your questions directed toward the witness and not toward what they may or may not believe happened.
Perfect. So you haven't been back to work since that day?
Correct, but the golds are still paying me. I thought that was really nice.
Cool. Yes. Yeah, seems like they've got a lot of money to throw around, and I'm glad that it's going into the pockets of an honest man.
They took care of all my medical bills too.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Nothing suspicious about that.
Theo
Cool.
says loud enough for Helen and Reginald to hear him.
What did you say? I missed it.
And judges.
I'm sorry, is that gonna go unpunished, Your Honor? That is direct slander to your character that even I haven't stooped to.
That's debatable, but she does pound the hammer. I will have order in this courtroom.
Okay. So, well, I think I can't think of any more questions to ask this guy who wasn't outside. When you made it outside, actually, because I know Kit was on the scene there for a while, Austin speaking. When you made it outside, were you escorted to any medical facilities? I'm trying to get a picture here. What did you see when you were on the outside through all the rubble and chaos?
I mean, it was just kind of that. It was chaos. There, I saw a light guard trying to help a lot of people. They'd set up a triage area, so when I kind of got out, they ran up and helped me carry the people I'd brought out and get me over there. But I do remember seeing a bunch of light guards surrounding the crane.
Yeah, okay. And you didn't see the operator removed, did you?
Well, all the light guard seemed taller. They're kind of blocking who was on the other side.
Yeah, okay. So you can assume that whoever the person did it was shorter in stature.
Yeah, definitely shorter than the light guard.
Objection, Your Honor. We're not here to make assumptions. We're here to find facts.
Sustained. Leading the witness once again, Mr. McCarthy.
Just trying to get as much out of him. This man is clearly concussed. I'm leading him towards hopefully getting useful information out of him. I apologize, Your Honor. Now, is there anything else notable
I'm doing my best. I only have one eye.
And you are a hero. Don't listen to the people around here that think that your opinions are. Just kidding. Sorry. Sorry, I'm not going to commit to that. That's it. That's mean. I would. I'm not a meanie. Okay. So now you were out there. You were surveying the scene. Were there any other just good Samaritans that were out helping the people? Do you know of any information? Did you see anyone that was not light guard that were on the scene that made an impression on you?
Yeah, there was a lady, an older lady, who was working triage. Who seemed to like really know what was going on. She was barking orders, and people were listening.
Okay, yeah, and were there any other civilian heroes such as yourself that you were able to witness?
Well, let's see. I did see there was a Raptaran that I saw that was flying overhead that was pointing out to the safety crew where they could find some people. And then you see in the back like a Raptaran arm go, "Yo, yeah, that guy, yeah, he was there."
Oh, you guys should have a little club. See.
Yeah, it's called the Trauma Support Group. We all meet.
I love that.
We've been meeting to talk about how this has affected our lives.
You are an inspiration, sir. Okay, if that is everything, I think that is all of the time I need. Thank you again for your service and bravery. And heal up soon, though you don't seem that affected, which I gotta say lightens my heart.
Oh, thanks. Well, remember, brunch toughly. Come see me sometime when the fighting gets back up. I'm trying to make a comeback. I'm gonna do it. I'll sign autographs in the lobby.
Okay, awesome. So I guess it's Theo's turn with the witness. So I just kind of like do like a patronizing bow, and allow him to pass me.
Full disclosure, I will be rolling connection on all of the witnesses.
Perfect.
5.
Oh, and when he talked about the older woman, he pointed there. He saw like her in the crowd too.
Just for my notes, was this a light guard or was this a?
This is a security guard guy.
No, the woman that you saw.
Oh,
She was just an older woman. I didn't know. He didn't identify if she was wearing anything. She just seemed to be someone people were listening to.
And she was barking. You said barking orders in the triage. Okay. Got it.
What was the name of the one fighter that we
Which one?
created.
Dave.
Dave. Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
So as Theo approaches Lexington, first and foremost, since apparently we're ignoring decorum and talking about you, I'm a big fan. I saw your first fight against Dave.
Thank
Fantastic
you.
show. I just want to get that out there.
He's small, but he's got really good energy.
That's what I've been telling people.
Yeah.
You got to stop sleeping on Dave.
Right.
Objection. What is this?
Objection to his objection, Your Honor. He did the same thing. I can't also compliment the witness.
I was complimenting the witness on his acts of bravery, not his underground fighting.
Not illegal.
Let's stay focused, gentlemen.
Thank you, Your Honor.
So, Lexington, unfortunately, I don't have much to ask you because Reginald also pointed out that you didn't see anything that incriminates my client, correct?
Correct.
So, to clarify to both the audience and the judge here, you saw the impact, but did not see who was in control of the crane.
Yeah.
And then when you left, you also did not see who was operating the crane.
I did not. But
Okay.
There's something. I feel weird mentioning it, but like, I'm pretty sure there was a guy on that beam.
Well, I do appreciate that information. And that is very important because if there was a male involved in this incident, I do believe my client identifies as female. Is that correct, Kit? So we would agree that my client, Kit Pfeiffer, is not male, correct?
Oh no, yeah, she's super cute.
Yep.
Stop.
No further.
He like
question.
flexes a little, but then he really flexes the shoulder that's hurt, and he's like,
For clarification, Kit, before you were dressed in your little makeover from Alana, what do you look like now? You're in like prison scrubs essentially, but like your face and your hair.
Scrubs.
Prison scrubs.
For the prison surgery you've had.
Well, Laka doesn't bode well for my hair, so it's probably a little frizzy.
Back to the curls.
Yeah.
Okay. Continue.
No further questions. In Lexington, and he is going to hand a business card to Lexington. He's going to kind of let me know when you're back in the rink.
yeah, absolutely. He takes it and he signs it and he gives it back.
He gives him another one. Just
Oh.
call me the next time.
Sorry, sorry.
But he goes out of his way to take out his wallet and put that in the important signature pocket and puts back. And then Theo will go back and take a seat.
Thank you, Mr. Finch.
You're welcome.
And a light guard kind of comes to you and escorts you back to the audience.
So I guess I'll stand back up, and I'll be like, can I call a light guard that pulled Kit out of the crane, please?
Yeah. I'll go.
Thank you for your time again,
Bye.
Mr.
Bye.
Bunch.
My name is Terrence. I'm a light guard. I was one of the people who pulled her out of the crane.
And you pulled her out of the crane.
Yeah, that one right there.
And you're
She didn't look
clear-
like that, but she yeah.
Oh, was she wearing a disguise?
Compared to what she looks like now, I would assume it was a disguise. Yes.
Interesting. And a disguise, for those that are interested, a disguise is used to try to mask one's identity.
I'm gonna quickly whisper in Theo's ear. How does one doing straightening one's hair become a disguise?
That's a great question.
Do they think women disguise themselves every day? Is women wearing makeup a disguise? I know me wearing makeup is jarring, but
Reginald don't get no bitches. He's a little confused.
Reginald is married, and he can hear you. And
What was this light guard's name?
Aaron. We canonized last episode that Reginald has a hot
Oh.
supermodel wife.
Yeah,
oh,
two
that's
cats.
right.
Yeah.
And 2 cats.
2 cats.
Mr. They were both S names. Snuffles and Sprinkles, I think.
Those are very
okay.
cute cat names, sir.
is Brunch back?
This is Terrence.
I just meant like, was that Brunch from?
Oh yeah, from cat. Nice
Those are
names,
cute.
bro.
Those are cute cats. Okay. So yeah, I'll go. So you can say that you were on the job, sound of mind and body, and you pulled this woman out of the crane after it had crashed through the building.
That's correct.
Your Honor, I think that as far as this case is concerned, if there's any more information that could allow me to further extrapolate on the guilt of Miss Cat Pfeiffer, I do beg to know what more details you could possibly need.
My name is Kit.
Did you whisper that to? Did you whisper that to? Did you whisper that to Theo or to me? Yeah.
My real name.
So, please, I did address the judge directly.
Oh. Are you quite finished with this witness, Mr. McCarthy?
Can I read her facial expression? I know that it's supposed to be very hard, but as far as I'm concerned, he just picked the criminal out from a lineup. Obviously, it was just one person, but
Sure. Roll insight.
I don't know if she Oh, I rolled really good. Insight. That's a 3.
Hey.
With a +0
Positive.
to insight.
Not bad for you.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, really good for me. A statistic anomaly.
But yeah, similar to Theo, like you don't feel like you're missing any details from her face. Like you notice every flinch, every eyebrow raise, but just like Theo when he was kind of checking in on her,
Can I spend a fate point to invoke a conspiracy theorist and add a +2 to that to make it a 5?
Theo has been feeding in a lot of information for him to question.
Well, I feel like it's an open and shut case, and the fact that her demeanor hasn't shifted is suspicious.
Okay.
Does a 5 get me more information?
I'm saying you don't need a 5. Like the 3,
Oh, okay.
like you're getting all that there is to get because she is so practiced at keeping a straight face, not showing an opinion until she lays out her judgment. She's not up there going, oh, what? Oh my, she what? Did you guys hear that?
Well, no,
She's
I'm
just-
not trying to determine what I'm trying to get is underneath that facade. I'm trying to see if I can infer or see that she is like it's certain, like if she's relaxed at all, because like what more does she need for this case? We've got a confession from the criminal, and we've got eyewitness pulling the criminal out of the crane. That it's done. So I'm trying to determine, how is this not done for her?
I wouldn't
It's
count
not-
the confession because that wasn't stated in the court, and it was over a phone. Like if you got that information, it was from a phone call, but then later in the discussion with Commander Oren, that was kind of immediately retracted on her part. So if you're betting on a confession, that would need to be solidified here in
Yeah,
court.
but it's on record. Like, we all know that
Yeah.
that happened, right? So I'm not saying that like it's evidence, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Anyway, it doesn't. I'm just trying to see if I can glean whether or not she's like, yeah, this is open and shut, and she's just making me do this trial to completion out of spite, or if she actually is got some kind of reason for continuing it.
Well, she would be making this trial go to completion, not out of spite for you, but out of
Spite for
like
Theo.
the quorum. Like that's how these things go. You just, even if it was open and shut, you still have to go
Sure.
A to Z, and give Theo the chance and any other witnesses that you wanted to call. So
Yeah. Okay. Sounds
she's
good.
not like banging her gavel saying, "Great, guilty."
Yeah. All right. Cool. So, yeah, I'm gonna look at him and say, thank you as well, for your service, and bravery, for being on the scene, and for responding. Now, Your Honor, I believe that's all the questions that I need to ask from this man. And I give him a bow, just like a shallow one, and I go and sit down.
That's a
Thank
7
you.
on my connection roll with Terrence.
You got my daughter a kidney,
What's Terrence's daughter's name?
Jessica.
It's me, just
Theo's gonna stand up. Again, I recognize it's not born right now. How is Jessica doing, Terrence?
She's doing terrific. I really want to thank you for everything you did for us.
Your Honor, excuse me. What is this relationship that the witness and the defendant have? What will you allow us to understand your guys' relationship further to know that this confession can't be tainted in any way?
Sustained. If it is germane to the court, then please state your connection. If not, please keep your outside connections outside.
Do got to make you look bad here for a moment, Terrence. So to clarify, you did not see my client get into the cab of the crane. You only removed her from said crane.
Correct.
Correct. Okay. Did you know what the Pfeiffer family is known for?
I do not.
They are mechanics, not these new age vehicle mechanics. They work on old age machinery.
Objection relevance?
If the prosecution would allow me to get there, I will.
Excuse me, it's the judge's turn to speak, not yours. Your Honor, objection relevance?
Overruled.
It would be understandable to say that if an upstanding citizen saw a crisis happening and they had any level of mechanical experience, it would be understandable for them to try to jump in to stop a situation.
Objection
from taking
leading.
place.
Sustained. Please keep your questions about the facts.
So to clarify, you did not see my client get into the crane.
That's correct.
Did you see my client specifically drive the crane into the building?
No, sir, I did not.
No further questions.
Thank you, Mr. Terrence. For the court, would you please state your last name?
Walters?
Thank you.
For no reason, under his breath, he goes, he doesn't have to spell his name.
He's a light guard. They've got everything on him.
You may be
Question, how
seated.
many witnesses are we doing? Or are we just doing this until the bit gets old?
Prosecution leads it, so if once they stop calling witnesses,
Okay.
then
I
you're
was
able
just
to call
curious.
witnesses if you have any of you choose to.
Okay. I was just
You can also bring Kit to the bench if you.
Yeah, that was my last play. And then she has to lie or tell the truth, so.
A little outside the game, I know that Josh mentioned a Raptoran that was flying overhead that was also present in the courtroom that he might have prepared notes for.
I'm not trying to shorten it. I was just curious what the game plan was.
I've got notes for the old lady triage and the Raptor.
Yeah, he did quite a bit of research. Or not research, I don't know what you'd call it. Extrapolation. I guess, is this time in? I don't know when we timed out even.
Time in. You may be seated, Officer Walters.
Thank you.
Get Jessica, my love.
For sure. Yeah.
Seriously, I really don't like that. Seriously, that feels anyway, it doesn't matter. Okay. So if Your Honor would be satisfied, I think it's time that we all got to hear what was it Kit? Sorry. I don't have my notes. I wasn't prepared for this trial. But would Miss Pfeiffer please take the stand?
Did Reginald prepare to have Kit called as a witness?
I don't know, dude. We are doing this on the fly, bro. I promised you I wouldn't prepare. So
that's fair.
this is all improv.
Full send. I won't do that then. Theo leans over to Kit. Vague. Do not admit.
Yes, sir. And Kit's gonna stand up, like, reverently, like, with her head, like, low, and slowly walk to the stand and sit down. But she's not gonna look in the crowd, she's just gonna keep her head down.
And as you approach, you do hear kind of the echoes of whispers and murmurs. They quickly quiet down as soon as you take the stand.
And Reginald is gonna like approach Kit, kind of like compassionately, here, and he goes, "This is not how I wanted this to go, for the record. I feel like as much as it may be troubling to hear coming from me, I don't think that whatever you did was necessarily your fault. No matter what happened to you doing it, the circumstances of it going on, I truly did not want you to have to burn for this."
Offer still stands, Reginald.
Now, Your Honor, Kit was your name, correct? I do abhor rudeness, but it has been a long...
Is Catherine, but I do go by Kit.
Copy that. Damn it, that's an Austinism. Okay, so now the question on all of our minds. What was your intention when stepping into the crane?
Oh, Bert hates thinking on the fly with shit like this, especially when she's supposed to be vague.
It's taken that girl a really long time to answer. Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on.
Patience in the courtroom. It takes a lot to do what Kit's doing now.
Yeah, it's super hard.
Bangs on the hammer. Order!
Sorry.
Somebody get Mr. Brunch a muffin or something. He really is a
He
trooper
needs a Snickers bar.
for being here. The blueberry scone is absolutely to die for.
Unfortunately, my mind becomes foggy when I think a lot about what happened that day.
Oh, I understood.
My body was under such duress that I only remember bits and pieces.
Okay, that's understandable. And having gone through what we all have information on, what you've gone through, I'm sure that is understandable. Now, of what you can recollect, perhaps you could share a bit of backstory for us, so we all have a better understanding. Surely you remember what caused the duress.
My grandmother, my only living person, or so I thought, was taken from me. And as any person whose loved one was snatched from them, I broke down. She was the only person I had. and she was taken from me.
And do you know or recall who took her from you?
I do.
Theo gives the nod of approval.
Please share with the court.
She was taken as revenge or spite or... But what I do know is that it was the Golds.
Just as I
And there
suspected.
is an uproar.
Theo wants to, while Theo knows what she's going to say here, Theo turns to look at the audience because I want to see how the gold members in the audience react.
Roll. Now, if I recall correctly, last time you kind of surveyed, you didn't personally notice the gold members, but Reginald did.
Oh, that was my roll.
Yeah. So if you
So
want
this
to
should be
make a
general
perception roll,
perception. Okay.
yeah. If you knew they were there,
That's only a 3.
yeah, you see a lot of people, like, for the most part, you see the majority of the room, like, upset by this allegation. You hear murmurs and just like Brunch Tuffley, you kind of pick up some things like the Golds. They covered the hospital bills. They did good things. They instituted the wing in the hospital, saved my son.
Well, I'm changing you back to a would not.
Somebody
I-
seriously get Brunch a scone. Just something to put in his mouth.
Yeah. Somebody's
But you do-
take Lexington out to take a breath. He's had a lot.
But amidst like all the leanings and people kind of shuffling, you do just catch the glimpse of a gold tie. You don't quite make out their faces, but it might make you slightly aware. Yeah.
Is Bozer fucked up for anybody else?
He did a little glitchy,
Just
but he's
for-
through it.
And there's freezing now.
Oh,
Yep. He freezes and then he... Oh,
Uh-oh.
your audio isn't messed up. It's just your
Yeah.
video, as far as I
Okay.
can tell.
yeah.
Yeah.
What was I thinking about? Okay, and I say, I know that it may be shocking, or no, sorry, I say this directly to Kat. I know this,
Kid.
that response. I'm. It's just a me thing now. I'm saying it to Kit, and I'll go to her and I'll just say, this is exactly what I suspected, and I do want to apologize. Like I said, this is not how I want this to go, and I will do what I can that you receive justice just like the rest of this courtroom.
Theo starts counting on his fingers how many times he's offered a plea deal with him.
I'm sorry, but this it goes above my head. Reginald needs to do it this way. And so Reginald goes, as I suspected. Now, the rest of this courtroom may not be aware of some of the less just things that the Golds do, but with the help of this trial and the trial I hope precedes it, we will get justice for everyone, including the people of this courtroom. Now, so you were under duress. The Golds had taken your grandmother, and so you found yourself in front of the Gold building with, to quote Theodore, mechanical expertise. Was it revenge that you were looking for?
Like I said, I don't remember much. But I do remember being upset. And many people would know that when you're when you're under so much duress, you lose control of what. Your mind goes faster. Your body goes faster than your mind.
Yes, that makes sense.
You just want to, when there's nothing you can do, you search for something to do.
So you have the means to control the machinery, and you have the motive to exact revenge on the gold. And we have eyewitnesses pulling you out of the machine that did the damage. The painting is becoming more and more clear, and this is why I was hoping that you would testify against the Golds and against the man representing you to get that justice that we all seek.
I'm not on trial here.
But you will be. You will be. Because I have reason to believe that this man has been brought along to pose as someone against the Golds, but is an active member. And the reason I believe that he is your handler is because there is eyewitness reports, and I pull out paperwork from like a written what's it called?
Statement?
Yes.
Statement?
Yeah, like a document or whatever. Like what's the term though? Like when somebody like when a police officer makes a report of a crime scene or whatever. And I'll hand them that report. I'll hand them a report from a Light Guard member that has Theo and Kit going to Haven's house.
Please approach the bench.
And so I'll hand that report. It seems that he's been her handler for quite some time.
Handler?
Oh, sorry. When somebody from a criminal organization, they'll use somebody with diplomatic experience to make sure that people that they are, terrorizing doesn't openly speak out against them.
Mm.
As Theo approaches the bench, he doesn't even look at Reginald, just direct eyesight at Helena. Pretty ironic to think he thinks I'm in the pocket of the Golds.
And she's just overlooking the statements. Bailiff,
Your Honor, this has
please file these into court records.
This has no relevancy to this trial on hand.
Well, that's funny, as any lawyer who could get the same grade as me should know.
That you were number 2.
That if you have any kind of power over your witness, if you have a connection to the magnitude that I'm suspecting that you have, you are not fit to represent her in court.
Your Honor.
Yes, Miss Pfeiffer.
Haven is the one who kidnapped my grandmother, as he was a henchman of the Gold family.
This is all great stuff for the trial that I wish to have against the Golds.
Still has nothing to deal with me, Reginald.
Theo was only acting as my lawyer.
I pull photos out of of Haven's place and be like, it's interesting that this alleged gold member would have iconography of the Knights of Axiom when you and Mr. Theodore enter the premises, make a mess of the scene before the Light Guard can get involved, and try to
because we
pigeonhole
the scene looking like this. So again, Reginald, you were wrong on a multitude
Objection.
of levels.
Objection. This is my time with my witness. You will stand trial
Oh, I thought
on
we were
your
at the
own
bench.
accord.
But no offense to you, Mr. Reginald, I do believe that you are
McCarthy,
putting,
thank you.
sir, I do believe that you are putting words in my mouth as well as Theo's. When we entered the building, it was already trashed. The apartment was already trashed.
I would recommend you not be lying in front of the judge. Obviously, it's your word against mine, but I'm just telling you, I'm not putting words in your mouth. I'm painting the picture as I see it for the courtroom and the judge. If you feel that you have any sort of a claim to make, this is not the trial for it. What I'm right now establishing is the basis that you were doing this crime against your will, and part of how we will not get justice for you is the man sitting at that desk behind you.
So the man who stepped in and took care of me as his own when the Golds took my grandmother away, what makes you think that he would do such as if he was working for the Golds?
And Helena's going to bang her hammer, and it's going to echo throughout the entire room. This case is slowly devolving into something much grander than the reason that we are here today, which is to establish the innocence or the guilt of Catherine Pfeiffer and the actions of that day at the Institute of Progress. Now, I will allow you to paint the picture, as you would say, Mr. McCarthy, in relevance to her actions or her alleged actions that day. But you have a very short leash.
I bow, this time very deeply, and I say, Your Honor, it was my pleasure to reiterate the information as we've all heard it today. Catherine Pfeiffer had the means to operate the machinery, had the motive to operate the machinery, and was seen being pulled out of the machinery. The mysterious accomplice and the accomplice that is at her desk, whether you see it to be a valid part of this argument or not, that is the picture, as beautifully rendered as you could possibly ask for it. I thank you. And he looks very earnestly at you, and he says, and I thank you for your time, Catherine.
Kit's gonna mumble under her breath, apparently this man is colorblind.
And I will release Kit to Theo.
Pause. Oh, God.
Yeah.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Motherfucker.
Release her back into custody.
What?
Yeah.
As Theo stands back up, well, since we're testifying now, apparently Reginald does not believe individuals in this society should have friends. Yes, Kit and I know each other outside of this courtroom. I know most of you because half of you are my clients.
And
Kit.
And you see some like head nods.
Kit, so we have solidified that, yes, you were under duress, and due to trauma, I believe everybody will understand that memory can be a very difficult thing at that time. So, do you confess to the allegations of you blatantly murdering all of these individuals?
Use the word murder. Well, under duress, I did make some decisions that were very rash.
But did you set out to murder innocent individuals?
No.
Objection relevance.
Well, this is your relevance. You are setting my client up to be a murderer. So I am asking, with a confession, did you set out to murder?
Objection. I clearly stated that she was acting against her will, not that her intent was to hurt civilians.
Oh, see, I thought we were talking about irrelevant things, since that was your entire whole argument while we were up here.
Oh.
Your Honor, he cares not for this trial. He cares to try to get one over on me. If anybody needs dismissed from this case, it would be Reginald. But I digress. Moving onward.
I raised my hands. I raised my hands. There is no evidence to this claim. I provided my evidence. Thank you, Your Honor.
So we have clarified that nobody has seen you get into this machine, right? We have clarified that you did not set out to harm anybody. We have clarified that this entire case has no evidence or witnesses putting you at fault for this instance. No further questions, Your Honor.
I say it loudly enough to say it, but just like in common talk, be like, I don't recall him asking a question.
You may be seated, Miss Pfeiffer.
Catherine's, again, not going to look at anyone, but she's going to get up from her seat and reverently sit next to Theo with her hands in her lap and look down at her hands.
Theo was just like under the table going to give her nugs.
Nice.
Prosecution, do you have any further witnesses?
I feel no need, Your Honor.
Defense, do you have any witnesses you would like to call?
I don't, Your Honor. Reginald did my job for me.
Well, then I welcome you to make your closing remarks before I make my ruling.
I don't even like go beyond the thing. I just stand up from my bench and I say, look, there's no poetic way to put it. This woman was clearly coaxed into doing something that she regrets. She visibly regrets it. Nobody here is questioning whether or not she regrets it. But if you're asking if she did it, I'd say it's obvious, Your Honor, given the evidence. Now, if we get the opportunity to use her as a witness in the future for the case that I have so desperately tried to accomplish today, I would very much appreciate that, Your Honor. And I just sit down.
And as Reginald sits down, Theo stands up. And very clearly we have no evidence. We have no eyewitnesses. We have nobody that can put my client directly responsible for this. No evidence been provided. No eyewitnesses. You're right, Reginald. This was pretty open and shut. And Theo sits back down.
And she kind of adjusts herself in her seat. I call for a 15-minute recess while I exit to my chambers to review the evidence that has been provided and take a look over these other documents that have been entered into the court record.
And Theo's going to say it just loud enough for only Reginald to hear and call Kieran and let him know what's going on.
Please be back in 15 minutes, and she pounds her hammer, echoes through the room. And all the light guard that's surrounding the room bang their spears on the floor, which echoes even louder. All rise! And everybody stands up.
Theo slouches.
And she stands and makes a note that you do not rise. Or just notes it with her eyes.
Who doesn't rise?
Theo.
Oh, I thought he
Theo
did.
doesn't give her any respect.
Oh, he does. I thought you meant like you stand, but it's like dejectedly.
Oh yeah, no, like he hands up and just kind of leans over the table. He's not giving her the respect.
Copy. I understand.
And she
Reginald,
stands
on the other
and-
hand, is stark straight.
and she exits to the chamber behind her.
The lawyer's spine is like wicked strong. Did you see it?
Like like a cobra, just kind of like snaps my like chin across to make eye contact with you. It's a lot
And
of
at
work.
this, all
perfecting
of
this
the
posture.
audience kind of stands up, and some start stretching, and they start discussing what they heard. And
Theo simply turns to Reginald. I don't understand why you're refusing to work with me. We have the same goal.
I refuse to work with the friends of my enemies.
Where do you believe that I would work with the individuals who ruined my father's life?
I don't know about your familial history. I only know the evidence as I see it. And I've been building a case against the Golds for a long time, and your name keeps coming up.
Reginald would know about my father since he was an enforcer for the Gold family. So, in his trial was very, very public. So that would be something Reginald would be aware of.
Okay, but I wouldn't know it's your dad we established.
No. You would know it was you would know it was Theo's dad. You don't know that Helena is Theo's mom.
Oh,
Theo claims his father. Theo doesn't claim his mother.
sure. Okay, copy.
They do nothing but destroy lives, Reginald. We are on the same page. I want to tear them down, brick from brick, and bury them under it.
I guess you'll have your moment in the sun when we take them to court. Unfortunately, you might not be on the correct bench, but you'll be able to plead your innocence then and bring all the evidence you can, because you know that it is needed.
And you will continue your losing streak against me, Reginald, till you get over this childish grudge.
There's no grudge against you, Theo. I know the facts just as you know them.
Theo just scuffs and then turns back to Kit. You may still very well go to prison. I need to know, do you want out? I will spend every dollar. I will pull every favor.
It is what it is, Theo.
We could have you a new identity. We could have you in a new location. We could even get Nan out.
So we can spend our entire life running.
Hopefully it won't get to that point, but you may be forced to deal with the sins of my father.
Let's see what the outcome is before we make any rash decisions.
This recess sucks. There's not even any jump ropes.
I think actually, I think that Reginald will approach your guys' bench and like address you, Kat, and says, if you would
Keep calling your cat.
I do, yeah. I keep calling her Kat because her name is Catherine, and it's been too long since we played.
I love it.
I don't want to have to keep notes. Names is my Austin weakness.
It's only a character you played with for like 6 months.
I guess it only takes a month and a half to forget. So I go to Kit. I'll go up to Kit. I'll just keep calling her Catherine because maybe that's easier for Reginald right now. If I could have a moment of your time.
I'm listening.
If you wouldn't mind, Theo, just the two of us.
Theo looks over for Kit's approval.
And she nods and steps away.
And I think that
Theo walks up to the bench and puts gum in the middle of the gavel. Making the pound piece.
instead of taking Theo's spot, and being like familiar with Kit, Reggie's gonna take like a knee to be eye level, and just like rest his like shoulder, elbow, whatever on the table, and goes, I truly do believe your claims, and if Theo is innocent, which I'm going to be honest with you, the evidence just does not add up. But if he truly is, then all the better to have two lawyers going against the Golds. What I will say, though, is if I have to, which I can reduce or remove your sentence with your cooperation in taking down the Golds. I can do that. And so I didn't want to put you in prison today. But if I had, I will get you out if I can replace you with a real monster.
The Golds are the real monsters here. And they have their hand in every bucket in the city.
Not my bucket.
I wouldn't be surprised if they don't have a hand in, and she turns to the bench, other buckets that are in this room.
Yeah.
So I do want to warn you, me saying anything today has put me as a target.
Perhaps.
You stepping in this ring as well puts you as a target.
And I knew that it would. And that was why I was so frustrated that I didn't get Dolan on this. He was the only man I felt safe having this information be brought to. And I wasn't prepared to have a target on my back quite yet, but I put the target on my back for the justice that we all deserve.
Mr. McCarthy, I will say, you have it all wrong about Theo. He wouldn't put a target on his back.
At that point, that's when Theo sticks the gum on the gavel piece.
And I hope you're right. He was a very worthy rival. And I don't want to see any innocent people put behind bars, but the fact of the matter is, he is tangled up in this mess, and he looks dirty on paper.
Sometimes the folly of our parents interweaves itself in our lives as well.
Reginald looks earnestly and goes, "Oh, too true." And his father was just like a really like humble baker. It was like never like worried a day in his life. And his mother loved to his father very much. I know, yes, that's so true.
Trying to be serious here.
Sorry.
Sometimes the mistakes of our parents follow us around, and we're left to deal with the collateral damage. So don't look at Theo's father's collateral damage as his own.
I'll take.
He's just trying to clean up the mess.
Yeah, I'll take my hand that was kind of just rested on the desk, and I'll clench it into a fist and say, "My sword only strikes true to those who are guilty. If he truly is innocent, I'm sure that he will be unscathed by my blows."
Take down the powerhouse. Those who follow in their footsteps will crumble as well.
Totally.
Mr. Gold.
Compassionately, Reginald put his other hand on your shoulder and try to look in your eyes and be like, "We're going to set things right."
Yeah.
Is there anything that anyone would like to do in the few minutes remaining of this recess?
Blueberry scone.
As you exit the courtroom, Marshall, the light guard, is actually standing there with 2 blueberry scones. Hi, Mr. McCarthy. I was standing in the back there, and I heard you mention those blueberry scones, and I know that you probably were working pretty hard up there. So I got one for you, and also Mr. Maxwell. Um, are you able to deliver this to him, or do you want me to go?
I take the blueberry scone, but I don't like pull it out of his grasp yet, and I like reach across his body to touch his shoulder, and I look in my eyes and say, "Marshall, you truly are the best of us." as a tear forms but refuses to fall.
Marshall's so classic.
And I
Everybody's
say,
got to eat, and baked
and I'll-
goods just a special way of healing. That's
I'll
what I've
say-
always thought.
I'll say to him, "This boon is best delivered by by your gracious presence."
Whoa, scones! Rad!
I immediately rip mine in half and I pass it to Brunch. Be like, "You desperately need to try this."
Oh my god. Holy shit, dude.
I've never had a non
more often.
I've never had a non-dry scone in my entire life.
Are scones the one that look like crescent rolls?
Yeah.
They're like the
Okay.
triangle guys, right?
Okay.
Yeah. And Marshall just kind of nods in appreciation and scoots past you. And he doesn't come past the gate that separates the audience from the bench area, but he kind of steps up. Mr. Maxwell,
Oh, you beautiful son of a bitch.
I figured you guys must be hungry. I'm sorry.
No, I didn't have to work that hard.
Oh, well, I hope that's a good sign.
Theo's looking past Marshall to see how Reginald responds.
Reginald is like emotionally recovering from the Marshall encounter, and you just seem like go like this, but you don't know if it's about you or not.
Just then, you hear all of the spears in unison clank on the floor, echoing through the room, and the murmurs and the outbursts
That scared me.
they suddenly start to die down, and you hear, "All rise for the Honorable Helena Marlene." And everybody just kind of situates themselves. You see some people start to like hold hands and arms link, and people are like rubbing each other's backs in solidarity and comfort as they rise. And Helena enters into the chamber, approaches her bench, takes the seat. You may be seated. And everybody sits down.
Theo grabs Kit's hand.
At this point, Kit's like shaking. And her hands are very sweaty.
Based upon the evidence and the eyewitness accounts, as well as the police reports entered into the court record, I have had a moment to review them and to collect my thoughts. But the things that I have heard this day, therefore, I find defendant Catherine Pfeiffer guilty of reckless endangerment, 9 counts of involuntary manslaughter, defamation of the Gold family name without evidence to sustain it,
Theo
it's
immediately looks
proven-
over at Reginald.
has proven herself to be not only a danger to others, but potentially herself. And therefore, I sentence Catherine Pfeiffer, exiled to the planet's surface, to live freely out the rest of her days. Bangs her gavel. Court dismissed.
Theo immediately gets in Reginald's face. I told you not to trust her.
Reginald does look white as a ghost. He hasn't even moved. You're like talking to the side of his face, and he goes, "There's still time. I can fix this. I can. There's still time. There's always time."
Theo goes and hugs Kit.
Somewhere across Aurora, Sirkin is reading a book and just closes it.
Theo immediately pulls out his phone and calls Sirkin.
What was that text about earlier?
I forgot about the text.
Cumbers.
I may not have
Cumbers.
remembered of the PC's name. But, okay, yeah. So, Reginald has a lot of work to do. I guess this is not the last you'll see of Reginald.
So you call Sirkin?
The Sirkin answer.
Yes.
Get everybody ready. It's time for a job.
Where do we meet?
My office, as soon as possible.
I'll meet you there.
Theo hangs up and looks at Kit, because I'm assuming the light guard is coming for her at this point.
Yes.
We'll be back with a night.
You also see Reginald on the phone, but we don't have to resolve that.
What? Oh, am I gonna have to walk my giraffe?
Is that even in recording? Is that even in the recording? Or was that in our preamble?
Oh my god.
Oh my god. That's why we need a Patreon, so we share that content to make sense of this content. Oh my god. So two light guard approach you, Kit, and a gesture for you to rise as they place handcuffs in front of you.
Where is Helena? Did she go back to her chambers?
Helena immediately exited the
Theo
chamber.
immediately makes a beeline.
As Kit's being ushered away, you are making your way towards the chamber, and you are immediately stopped by two light guard that cross their spears towards. There's to even get to that chamber there. You'd have to go off to the side, and there's a small staircase that leads up to that second level. So they cross their spears at the base of the stairs.
Connection.
Sure, that's a non-entry point.
That's a 6.
You fucking know them. But here's okay. Let's pull up the Cantina 13 Mythos Logos generator, which I use for all my NPCs.
Website update coming soon.
Gang, gang.
Ooh. Mythos logos are very much needed if you're ever playing City of Mist, which was our last campaign. Check it out. It's here on YouTube.
The conclusion is not.
It is.
Is it? I thought that what the last episode was missing.
No, it's up
Okay.
now. All right,
Maybe
you
I
see,
just forget it exists.
yeah, you see one female, Josephine Harris, and a male, Joseph Montez.
Are they married?
They've got the same first name.
Joseph
Well, he
and
didn't,
Josephine.
he didn't give her a last name. He gave her a first name and then his name and last name. So I just assumed.
Josephine
Oh.
Harris.
Theo is just gonna kind of like try to bum rush past them. Helena, get back here and face me.
Now that you're showing aggression, so they are going to start to restrain you, like push against you and pull against your arms.
Let's do my +1 fight and see how this goes, folks.
Jesus.
Oh my god!
I'm doing fight. Theo's just trying to force his way past them.
Okay.
Did he get all pluses or all negatives? We'll find out
together.
soon. On the next episode of Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah. What'd you roll?
-3. Theo knows what he's good at. He knows what he's not.
And as soon as you push them, that is taken as a sign of aggression, and
Joseph just
while-
like shrugs and I fall backwards.
Joseph like shoves you back, and Helena sweeps your leg, almost like a practiced routine. So you immediately fall back on your ass, and they point their spears directly towards you. Stand down, Mr. Maxwell, or we will be forced to take you into custody as well.
Theo swats the lances out of the way and walks out towards the crowd.
So, Kit, you are being taken through a side exit. It's not the main exit. The rest of the audience is now jubilantly leaving, like tears of joy. People are excited. They're happy. And you're taken into a side exit and basically
Before
taken...
she leaves the courtroom, can I hang up my phone and just call out to her? You're an important witness. I won't let this happen to you. Trust me.
So you're basically taking the same route that you were taken to get into the Hall of Justice in the first place. Taken through some back hallways, a little less ornate, a little more utilitarian, towards a large freight elevator. Are you doing anything as you're being escorted, or are you just going along with them?
I'm not gonna fight it. I was gonna get zapped if I do. So I'm just gonna go willingly, I guess.
So basically you're headed back to the Citadel, where you'll be placed in a separate holding cell, not the group holding cell that you were in previously, as things are being arranged for your exile. Theo, you head out the main entrance of the courtroom.
Theo is going directly to wherever her vehicle would be.
Whose vehicle? Helena's?
Helena's.
Okay.
I'm assuming she's being escorted in like a vehicle, so whenever she gets in the car, Theo wants to be on the opposite side of the limousine waiting for her.
Yeah. All right. It might take a little time because it's not like she's running out of the building. She's still here to work. It might be an hour or two.
That's fine.
You're willing to wait?
Yep.
Okay. Is there anything that you're doing while waiting? Because really what you do is you head out of the building. There is like public parking near the front, but then along the beautiful like gardens outside, there's a pathway to the rear of the building where to be like staff parking. And
I think Theo's gonna call his dad.
Okay. Hold on. Okay. So have you established his name?
Yes.
Okay. So you called Russell.
Russell Maxwell.
I just didn't want to be the first to say it if you hadn't said it.
Yeah.
Hey, Theo.
Theo is just pacing in the parking lot, tears streaming down his face. She fucking did it again.
What? Talk to me. What happened?
She continues to ruin lives, and I will not allow it anymore.
I caught a little bit. I don't have much access to the news here, but I heard you had a big case today.
This ends tonight. She will not try another case. I don't know if she lives to see another day. And Theo hangs up the phone.
And just before you hear, like, Theo! All right, so you're waiting outside of her car. Like, are you just, like, hanging by
No,
the
I
car?
want to be in the car.
What are you doing?
Wow. And then when she gets into the car, I want to be the first thing she sees.
Well,
Resources
being your mother,
to break into a vehicle?
Yeah.
Okay.
being your mother, you would know what her car looks like. It's
I
kind of a
want to call
larger...
Denton.
Oh, okay.
He is going to be driving said vehicle.
You also see, when you pull up there, a stunningly accurate model of your car, but twice the length.
I don't know if that's going to be enough to break into a vehicle. I don't know what the established metric is anymore, but that's a 2.
Well, let's do this. I'll let you re-roll. I want you to first tell me how you are trying to break into this.
Oh, right. I have
then-
things for this. Man of many
and then-
masks. What the fuck
there
am
you
I
go.
doing?
And then you might roll resources to see if you have what you need.
Or I can use, is this your card? Because this is just up close magic is all I'm doing. Lockpicking is 100% up close magic.
How are you trying to get into the car?
Oh, Theo has lockpicks.
I will tell you that it is daytime. There are other cars around. It's around a prominent civic building here in Aurora. So you might imagine that there would be cameras, there would be security.
I didn't know this was a Honda dealership.
Yeah, is this your card? Use close-up magic to manipulate the world around him to get what he needs. So we're going to shape that in the sense of he's just going to like casually be walking by, act like he dropped something, and then just...
Are you gonna pull one of your roses out from your sleeve and use that to lockpick?
Yeah.
It's got a little wire stem in it.
Yep.
What are you rolling?
This would be a stunt. I don't remember how stunts work. It's been a long time.
Oh!
Yeah, because I have,
Okay.
is this your card? So I'd like to use that stunt.
So,
is that just
yeah,
a plus
it's a reroll
2
or a
then?
+2.
Okay.
Well,
so then
no, stunts work a little differently. Hang on.
Oh yeah, that's right. I just
Magic.
Oh,
To
yeah,
manipulate the world
aspects
around you,
give
get what he needs. Pay 1 fate or deception with style.
Yeah. And I believe that was just a fate point. We have, yeah, pay 1 fate or deception.
So when
fate
rolling
makes it worse.
deception, you either you roll deception if it's with style, like it's far above the DC, then it works with the stunt. But if not, then you have to pay a fate point.
Can
So-
I just pay a fate to avoid a possible negativity?
But would you be rolling deception to break into a car?
I mean, that makes sense. Yeah, that's fine. Deception's +3. Yeah, that works.
Okay.
That's a 6.
Okay. So that counts with style. The DC is not 6.
I forgot Theo good at lying.
And with that style, I'll grant you that it because you're so good at close-up magic, it's rather stealthy, and that this goes pretty much unseen and unnoticed.
And then, yeah, I'm going to have Denton kind of make his way, and he's going to be said driver.
Of this car?
Yeah.
Okay. So you call Denton in, and after a few minutes, you recognize the big, I think it was what's he driving?
Just an SUV. Just a
Or
typical
is it-
black SUV.
Is it your Lincoln? It's your Lincoln that you took from
Oh,
your
yeah, I did take the Lincoln.
Yeah.
No, I would have told him to leave the Lincoln elsewhere. So it's not Lincoln next to now a missing judge.
Yeah. Lincoln next to a missing judge and a double the length Lincoln.
Yeah,
But your
fucking
Lincoln
into
would
it.
log.
Your Lincoln would just look silly next to that one.
That's a good point.
But while Theo is in the car again, he's going to call Sirkin back. Does Wayland have a call? Or does Wayland have a phone?
Wayland is very busy.
Oh, okay. I guess Theo wouldn't know that, so Theo will probably attempt to
Try.
call Wayland as well, since he made promises to both of them.
Can we say that the phone call happened as I'm just fucking squared up in front of the door waiting for round
Yeah.
2?
Yes.
So I'm going to 3-way call.
No, that's okay.
Yeah, so I'll answer. I'll be like, hello?
Theo is just trying to, like, speak through the cries.
One moment, I have to pull over.
Oh my god, it's another one of these.
Oh, hey, Raylan.
Hey,
I
you didn't
failed
call
her.
me? Oh.
I made you guys promises that no more cowboy shit, but I have to break that already.
What have you done?
I haven't done anything yet. It's what I'm about to do. She ruined too many lives, and I can't allow her to keep doing this. She's far too gone. She's far too deep.
We
It ends
can't
tonight.
kill Kit.
Kit got exiled to the surface.
What?
That's your job tonight, Sirkin. You need to get her to stop that.
I'll be at the law office in 2 hours.
I can't promise I'll be there.
My hand is tied at the moment, but I'll get there as soon as I can.
I love and appreciate you both. And Theo hangs up the phone.
Waylon takes like too long to figure out if do I have to press it twice because there was 2 people on the phone. But these things work. Also, was it a flip phone? I can't remember.
I think
Was it like a Nokia?
I think you did have a flip phone. Because
He
you took
broke
it from
so many.
Waylon's office. You took it
Yeah, it
from
was
Theo's
one-
office and
it
you
was
had
one of
some
the
old
burners.
burner.
Yeah. He just presses it twice just to make sure.
and one, then the second.
All right, so you're
I had a quick question for Reginald. Would I have to roll, or would I know that this punishment far exceeds the severity of the crime? Like, would I know that this is like... Because Austin's perspective says that this is like way too much for like what's happened, right? Is there any way that Reg would know and be able to use that information to not get a retrial, but to like allow reduced sentencing if I can get Dolan to approve this gold case?
sure. Roll either lore to establish like your past cases or insight into this particular case.
I'm gonna spend a fate point initially so that I can just tell you, regardless of the roll, that I'm invoking actually. What am I rolling?
Lore from like your past memories of cases or insight to this particular case with the judge.
Yeah, I rolled a 4.
Yeah.
In which one?
Lore.
Okay. Yeah, so as you're thinking into past cases, like you're trying to recall if anyone's ever been exiled.
Alright.
This is the first time that you've ever heard this sentence doled out.
Yeah, I'm actually going to immediately immediately head to my car. I was just getting off the phone with my secretary, and I had her look into the judge's previous cases and the way that they have what's it called? The way they've tried the convicted. So just to like dig up that information to have when I get back to my office, and I'm just kind of rushing to my car to try to get in touch first of all with Dolan and regroup from this loss/victory.
Did you park in the public parking or the staff parking?
Staff parking for sure.
Roll perception.
Where do you think that giant Lincoln came from? 2. Oh no, sorry, that's not a negative. That's a +1 to perception only.
Can I give a fate point for him to re-roll or something? Because I love the idea of this being a heart-to-heart for these two.
So you just rolled a +1.
Yeah, that's it.
I'm not sure. Can you use?
You're the fucking one in charge here, my guy.
I mean,
I
he
know. I'm
can-
trying to.
Well, it depends on what you're asking, Theo. If you see me coming through the parking lot heading to my
Yeah.
car, you could just make yourself known.
Right.
Just roll down the window. Open the limo door.
Honestly, I do like that idea. Yeah. Theo sees Reginald walking by and he just opens the door. Doesn't reveal himself, just opens the door for Reginald to have to like investigate himself if he chooses to.
With a perception of 1, an exclamation mark pops up over my head. Yeah, I guess I'll definitely investigate seeing as how no one is getting out. Just kind of like crook my neck and see Theo's in there.
Denton's not in the car yet. I'm gonna say that you both kind of beelined it towards these areas before Denton got a chance to pull around.
That's fair. Yeah. You see Theo, just tears running down his cheeks. You view me as the devil, Reginald, but I think you need to understand how little you know. If you ever listen to anything I say, let it be now. I am not in bed with the Golds. I'm doing everything in my power to destroy the Golds, and you just teamed yourself with somebody so deep in their pockets that they have continued to get away with everything they've ever done because of that woman. You watched her destroy my father's life. You've watched her destroy me. Her last name is Maxwell. Every time you've ever heard me curse the name of the woman who bore me, that is the devil that you have sided yourself with because you were so hell-bent on beating me, you refused to listen.
I was not hellbent on beating you, for the record. And also, seeing your response, it corroborates Miss Catherine's statement of you. Now, whether I like it or you like it or not, the words on the paper have you looking incredibly guilty. And like I said to her, I'll repeat it to you. I am happy that you're not guilty. I don't want anyone to face the music if they did not do the crime. And I'm happy to know that you are an ally in this situation. I also have done a little bit of research, and this was not my desired outcome either. Beating you was inevitable. The trial ending with this sentence was unforeseen. I need her. Maybe not as much as you do. I don't know about your relationship, but I need her to bring down the Golds. And if you want to bring down the Golds, I ask you to think about your future too. If you're an ally, I need you to be around. And I know that you know this isn't your car, Theodore.
Theo is going to pull a sheet of paper out of his pocket, and it's just going to be a safe code, and he's going to hand it over to Reginald. I wish you the best, Reginald.
I wish you would reconsider whatever you're planning. I can help you, and you can help me, and we can solve this issue. But if you plan on hurting this judge, you're making a mistake. Dolan will dole justice
Dolan be Dolan.
as he has
That was
done
his
in the
campaign
past.
slogan.
He is an honorable man of justice, and he is who I wanted to stand in front of today. I will get him to stand in front of the Golds, and I will get Catherine to speak her truth in front of him.
She can't speak her truth on the surface.
She's not going to the surface.
You do not have enough power to stop what is already in motion.
I'm already working on it.
You can't beat the Golds by yourself. We've all
I
known
don't
this.
plan on beating the Golds by myself, and I never intended on it. You are trying to beat the Golds by yourself.
I reached my hand across that table repeatedly, Reginald.
I didn't trust you at the time. In my eyes, you were playing a double agent, acting though you weren't loyal to the Golds. I can see now with my eyes that that was not true, and I apologize. What I can do now is forge this alliance and work towards the justice that we all deserve. You are being selfish. You are taking it into your own hands. You can see me however you'd like to, but what I see is a man in somebody else's vehicle with passion in their heart, and you know what I do to people who act before they think.
Pause. Question. I might need to revoke a statement. Do we want to keep Reginald around?
He's becoming like a full-time
Reginald-
character.
Reginald is kind of in it. I can pass the character.
Code. He is in the rest of the story.
Oh yeah, Reginald's for sure going to be involved.
Yeah, I'm happy to pass it on to Bowser to like act it out so that I don't run two PCs. But
Yeah.
I feel like Reginald. I thought this arc was going to open and close with me getting a retrial and bringing the golds into the fold. I can't stop rhyming. But I couldn't get that to happen, right? So yeah, as far as I'm concerned, whether it's just played by Bowser for now on, or if I just play two PCs and I get him some levels on him, or if starting as a level 1 character is kind of fun too. But regardless,
We'll talk about it. We'll talk about it off. But you've given me a great base of backstory.
All right, then I'm keeping the save code with him. Then I just want to make sure, because if not, I will make sure that code goes somewhere else. But
Oh no, it's great. I love adding Reginald to the team.
Yeah. Just then, from in the back of the limo, you hear a door open, and immediately like hear the radio blasting. And then the little small screen at the top of the limo comes down. Oh, sorry, Mr. Maxwell. This isn't your car. But on the radio, it was switched to like the news station, and you're caught like mid-broadcast. We repeat, all citizens in the Prism District need to evacuate. There has been a spill of raw X. You are in danger. All citizens within the area need to evacuate. Do not make contact. Do not breathe.
does Theo want to be a superhero and or a supervillain?
I look to Theo and I say, he's right. This isn't your car. And listen, the world is falling apart. Do you think that going to the surface yourself will solve this issue? There's a right way of handling this, a lawyer's way of handling this. What did he say?
He said I have decisions to make off air. Until next time, Reginald. You may leave now.
I've seen your face, and I know where you are. That isn't a threat. And I walk away.
And I think that's where we're going to end today's episode.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Jeez Louise.
Egg did not imagine exile on the table.
Yeah, neither did Reggie, dude.
Yeah, especially with no fucking evidence and no eyewitnesses.
Can I, since I didn't get to call my witness, can I tell you guys the secret bit I had buried in one of the witnesses?
Yes.
Let's hear the secret bit.
Yeah, the thing that could have saved her, sure.
The old woman that was running the triage is the woman who Sirkin slapped her hand.
I was waiting for you to casually reference yourself.
I know, I was true.
Dude, I fucking talking about leading the witness. I was trying to get you to say anything about Theo physically being on the scene.
You didn't call the other witnesses.
You didn't call my the other two. The one had was a photographer, man. I had photographs. I had photographic evidence. You just never called me.
Yeah.
Very fair. Had you called those other two witnesses, this might have gone a very different direction.
Interesting.
So really, this is all Austin's fault.
No, it's
Like-
just the way the court plays and the way that decisions are made, and they have consequences.
It was also a lot of adjusting on the fly because our missing party member was supposed to be the before, and
Oh yeah. I just figured you'd make shit up.
I did. I did. I was ready to go.
Nice job on those witnesses.
Thanks. I'm glad that Brunch got to make his debut.
Yeah. Sorry, I didn't use the full breadth of your cabinet there. I just
No worries.
I was just like, again, character motivations or whatever. This
No,
case
good job
was,
on staying true.
Yeah.
this case was small potatoes for me, and I was treating it as such. It was not. I didn't give it the respect it deserved.
See? Helena warned you. Kit, how you feeling?
Like we're about
Is
to play
anyone
Fallout
who's
76
exiled on
together.
the surface could feel.
What'd you say, T?
That we're about to play Fallout 76 together.
I mean, I've been
Well,
begging
guys-
to get to the surface. Anyway,
Thank you so much for joining us for episode 30 of Cloudscape. If you've made it this far, you are our true blue heroes. The most meaningful thing that you can do for all of us is comment below on what you're loving, and share this podcast and video series with your friends. And then while you're there, down in the captions below, see all the links to these super duper multi-talented people that I get to play with every week ish. They've got such great things going on beyond this story, and you would really benefit in checking them out and supporting, because they can't do what they do without your support also. So please take a second, click the links, give them a like and follow. But until next time, I am Bozer.
I'm Josh.
I'm Austin.
I'm Britt.
I'm T.
And you just keep geeking out.
Yeah. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.